everyone, welcome to another build video by CCL Controllers. I'm Ricky and I'm the owner and, well, the operator and manager and well, I'm kind of everything. And I got my sidekick Zach over here who won't talk on this camera. So our K32 kit we came out with last year has been a super hit, and everyone's been bugging us for K16 kits and a few other kits that we're actually going to be videoing probably today. So this current video, I'm going to bring to you a K16 Bud 32022 kit. I do want to start out by saying we really need you guys to like and click the subscribe button. The more followers we get, the more we get out there. So if you guys could just, hit the bleep bloop button there at the bottom, just go ahead and and give us a like, give us a subscribe, share our videos, be great. I do want to do a quick disclaimer. We had an issue last year. Now we sold like, I don't know, 100 and something boxes. I don't even know how many. We sold, I don't know, lots of boxes. But we had one person that really got confused on our website and didn't understand that we don't sell the controllers individually or the parts of the controllers. So before we open up this kit, I want to show you what's not in the kit. So let's quickly go. You will have to get a controller. And again, these are for Kulp boards. So this would be a Kulp controller. Again, you can get it from Kulp Lights from Dan Kulp, or you can get it from Wired Watts over there. Ken has them. So you will need the K16. You'll obviously need the screen, which comes with FM transmitter is hit or miss whether you want that or not. And then remember the Beagle Bone Black. Our kits are currently just Beagle Bone Black. We're going to work on some Beagle Bone Green plates, but I do not supply the Beagle Bone Black. This is part of the controller. This is controller. So I just want to be clear on that. You will not get any of these parts in my kit. The other thing you will not get in my kit will be the power supplies that you need. For this current build, you will be needing 2 Meanwhile power supplies. So again, I just wanted to get that out there so you guys knew before we even look at the kit that those parts don't come in. So now that we have what don't come in the kit, let's talk about what does come in the kit. So when you get your K16 build kit, you'll open up your awesome box and throw the box on the floor because you don't need that. You will see a Bud box, a 32022, and you'll see that it has been pre-drilled for your receivers. You will notice that it'll have been pre-drilled for all of your pigtails. It'll be pre-drilled for your single Ethernet and a vent. So now let's build this and see how fast I can build this one. The last one took me how long? Zach, how long the last one take me? You can talk, Zach, it's okay. It was a good, 2 hours. I think we made people endure that video. I do apologize, that was a long video. Let's see if we can blow this one out in under an hour. Probably not, but we can always be hopeful. So in the kit, I'm gonna supply you with some 10 gauge wire. I think it's like, I don't know, 3 feet maybe, 32 inches. Don't quote me on that. It's in the 3 range. So you're gonna have some wire. You get a bag of glands, and you're gonna see that we got a USB extension and an SD card extension and your little brackets for your thing. And then you're gonna find your pigtails that you're gonna tell me you want. Whether X-Connect array, that's pretty much all we're stocking now. And then you're gonna get another bag with your Ethernet glands and your patch cables. We pretty much just use the 90-degree ones. Oh, speaking of that, somewhere over here, something new that we have. I'll show you guys later in the video. No, it's right there. I got that small bag right there. That'll actually be included in the kit too. We just recently had these made, and these are actually to go onto our connectors, and they allow for pass-through of the wire. That's what everyone seems to be excited about. So basically, you can take this thing apart like this, and it already has a slit in the thing, and you can push this through like this, like that, Pretty awesome. And then you can just go ahead and clip this thing on here like that, the little rubber. You can slide this through the end like this, start that, and then I have an RJ45 right here, connector. So we just had these made for our connectors, so and you can see when this is coming through the box, you plug that in, and now you can basically, you kind of have to get it so it don't clip that little thing, and then you just snug it on there. You don't need to go like crazy and like wrench it on there, and then you just can tighten that guy up like that. And look at that. You'll see in later on we'll show you the video. So kind of cool. Again, something new that we just added that we figured all you guys would love. Because no one likes to take these things and clip the ends off. Now if I can get the thing back out of here, so I can actually make the video. Okay, I'm wasting everyone's time. Zach, play music. Or not. Okay. So that's these. We'll show you those here later on in the video. Let's keep moving. We don't need that. You got a vent. You're gonna have a power cord that'll be already clipped and stripped to do a double power supply. If it's not like this for some reason, it's just a straight one, you can always just strip back more and then just cut a piece of cable, kind of like our other extension kits, and it'll give you the extension on that. Here we're gonna get our labels, which I still have to put those on with pigtails. Then you're gonna get a hardware kit, and you're gonna get a bottom plate. So for starters, let's throw this box aside, and let's start with this. And let's get our board over here and our power supplies. Now another thing too, power supplies most of the time, unless they come from Ken who tests them, and God, I'm having a brain cramp. Holiday lighting. They pre-clip these for you, but most people don't. But make sure you put them on 115 if you're doing this in the States. If you're not doing it in the States, then leave it on 240. Or whatever your appropriate voltage is. Or, I mean, you can just kind of do what you want. So, in my kit, you're going to have power supply stacking brackets. You're going to have your bolts and this really cool bag. We're going to set aside. So let's find the bolts. So these are going to be your through bolts. Let's just set those aside. Now you're going to have spacers, two different sizes. Again, you're going to have 1.5 inch spacers, and you're going to have 1.25 inch spacers. The 1.5 inch spacers will go on first, and then the 1.25 inch spacers. And the reason for that is we want the most amount of ventilation as we can. And look at that, I messed that one up. Zach, how did I do that? Building this kit, and I accidentally put one thing in here. And then we have our washers. Now, our brackets are super simple to figure out. These are different than the brackets we use in our 32026 box. For clearance issues, we ended up making a little change. So ours have this really cool arrow cut in them. The arrow points towards the screws. So basically, arrow pointing to the screws, like that. So So real simple, and they'll go like that. Now, in this kit, there is not any M48s, so they're all M46s, so we won't have that confusion to go over in this video, but we will in another video. So let's grab, it's these little black screws, they're M46s. We're not going to need these silver ones right now. That's going to be to put the box in there. We're going to throw them in later. And the spacers, we'll need them in a minute for the board. We'll do them in a second. We just need these guys right here. So let's take a second and screw these brackets on. So this controller builds really quick. It's very similar to our Falcon controller setup we build for a lot of people. Again, arrows that way. What else should we talk about, Zach? Zach ain't a big talker. You know what I mean, he's kind of not talking much at all. He's just over there watching me screw this stuff together.
Stay in frame.
I'm staying in frame. I'm right here, right over top of the camera.
Alright. How does everybody like the new view on camera?
Yeah, what does everyone think of this new view? Go ahead and, you know, comment down there in the old comment section. There's a chance we'll see it. I'm not, this whole YouTube thing is pretty new to me. And, so I'm not really sure how, you know, but most of you know how to do it. If not, ask your kids. Kids know how to do it. I just know we're trying to do videos so you guys can see how I'm putting stuff together for these Kulp controllers, because it can get kind of confusing sometimes. And, you know, plus we figured if we're going to sell you a kit, you need instructions for the thing. So now we just assembled, you know, the power supply brackets. So now that's done, let's move on to the board, and then we're going to put the board onto the plate. Yeah, and then we're going to put the things on, and, you know, we're just going to go ahead and build it. So here's the board, again, that I didn't sell you. I'm going to take the FM transmitter off for right now and just throw that aside. And you're going to see that, oh, there was an extra screw. The reason why there's an extra screw is I give you some because, you know, you never know. The cat could jump up here and blow your screws around, and, you know, you short one because it's fell on the carpet, you know. So I try to give you a couple extra screws most of the time. Now, if Zach's putting your kit together, it may not have an extra screw, you know. Since his cat may have already knocked the extra screw off from here. So basically, the kit is actually designed to use 5 screws, and I'm gonna put the 5th screw in the kit. Originally, the plate was designed for 4, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the right thing and grab what I'm supposed to have in the kit to begin with. Note to self, make it 5 screws on the old spreadsheet. There's that. See, that's what happens when you do these things off the cuff. But I think they're more fun this way. You know, like I haven't actually built this kit. We're just going to do it now together, type of thing. I mean, I built these, just not as kit form. Usually if I need something, I just, you know, go to my shelf and just grab what I need. You guys don't have my box of parts. Oh yeah, these are the ones I forgot. See, I haven't built a controller in like a month now. Give these suckers just a little squeeze, not crazy. I mean, don't flatten them like the ones for the M4s. These are a little bit harder, so I just, you know, give them a little squeeze and it'll help keep them on there for you. Or you can just jiggle them in. That's always an option too. I mean, my way's not always say I didn't squeeze that one enough. But that's all right. I'm pretty good at this. I think I can get it in there without falling off. That's the key. It's like a puzzle. You gotta put the whole thing together without losing any pieces. That sounds like fun. So, we're gonna go ahead and just throw these in here. First 2 holes are in. We're in. Second set are in, and look at us. Got it, first try. We're through. So let's go ahead and throw the nuts on this sucker. Actually, this one right here, I sold all the Kulp boards I had. I had a bunch in stock. And I sold them all. I just prefer Falcons myself. And so this was the last K16 board I had in stock. So this controller actually will be for sale once this video is done. It'll probably be sold before I even put this video online, because I'm still waiting on a couple parts before I can put everything on. So I'm just going to use some pliers on the back. I don't have a screwdriver for this one. I mean, I don't have a wrench for these small ones. I'm just kind of holding the nut, just snugging the screws down. And I'll show you guys what it looks like on there. And then we'll go to the next step. Okay. So basically the controller is on there, as you can see. It all comes out through the bottom. There's enough room to put the Ethernet cable in, and there's enough room for the connectors that we're actually going to be putting on here momentarily. So we're done with those. We're done with that for right now. So the next thing is let's open up this goodie bag here, which has a little everything in it. Again, we supply you with some zip ties, so you can zip tie stuff together. And then we have our Ethernet extension, and we have our SD card extension, which is actually what I need right now, these two items right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this board back over, and I'm gonna put the USB extension on, which goes in right here, as you can see. It's a little bit snug on this cutout, but it does fit good right there. And there's actually a spot for it to come out right here. And then the SD card, again, it came with the controller that I bought from Dan. So I'm gonna pull that out. As you can see, it's gold side up. There's already some 3M tape on these that we've been sticking on them for you guys before we ship them. And I'm gonna pull that 3M double stick tape off. I'm gonna stick this card extension, gold side up, in here, like that. And then I'm gonna double stick tape that right there. Okay, and then, so I don't lose the card, I'm just gonna go ahead, and this one already has another card in it. Why it has a card in it, who knows? And put that in there. Here's that. Okay, we're gonna try this for a third time on this GoPro thingy that's getting hot, and we'd have no idea. Again, I think I'm going back to cell phone here pretty soon. Let's try this again. I'm not sure where I was, and I really lost my concentration, so I'm gonna struggle for a few minutes. So I get on a roll. I'm good, and then I lose my concentration, and I'm like. But anyways, I think in the last video, or the video before the thing kept cutting out, we plugged in the two cables and we routed them, and then I was getting ready to tell you about our awesome patent pendant holes, square ones, to go in the square carriage bolts. So basically, put your 4 carriage bolts up through the square holes. See how nicely they fit? It's real nice. And then just flip your controller over like this. They're probably gonna do that, but it's all right. They go right back in. So we're gonna just go ahead there. So now we got the controller, we got our extensions up here. They're on the top side, so you can actually get to them. And we have our bolts through. So we are actually ready to put our power supply on and start wiring. So we're gonna stick our power supply on. Obviously there's only one hole, so that's all it can go in. We're gonna put that down like that. And then we are going to put the 1.5" spacers down next. 1.5" spacers. Again, you want the 1.5" spacer so you have more clearance between this one and this power supply. Okay, now what we're gonna do next is we are going to let's wire the controller, and then we're gonna wire the box, and there's like a stage. There's like a whole step here to make all this happen. I do it in a couple steps, so we're gonna see if we can get this together here. If I can get my mind wrapped back up on this. I'm gonna need some strippers. So I have these strippers that I like. I also have these strippers that I like. And I also have these strippers that I like. And I have these side cutters that I like. So it really becomes down to preference. I find these work good for 10 gauge, these work good for pigtails, these work good for power. So really I kind of use I use 3 of them. I mean, that's what I use. So now we got our power wire and our ground wire. So first things first is we're gonna strip these back. And we don't have to go crazy stripping them. Really, we do gotta strip them a little bit more than the Falcon because we're gonna have to butterfly these open to get them around the screw. Because since it's a screw, I guess I need a screwdriver now. again, I usually use the drill for this, and I will in a minute, don't worry. Where the Falcons just slide in, these we have to butterfly them to get them to work. So I use a flat screwdriver like this, and I just kind of stuff it between the wires, and just do that with it. And I just do that right there. And as we can see, it is marked voltage and ground. So obviously voltage will be red. So we're going to butterfly that in, slide that up in there like that. Start like that. You see I didn't go crazy tightening that. All I did was just snug it. There's a reason for that. I'll show you in a second. And I'll put the ground through here. Same thing. I'm just going to snug it. I didn't go crazy tightening on that. So I'm going to grab my needle nose pliers because I don't want to twist on the board. And I'm just going to put my needle nose pliers in here and grab that connector. Now I can snug these up. And get a good, nice, tight fitting on them. And I didn't rip the thing off the board. It's pretty awesome, huh? So now the wires like this, we're just going to get them up to here. So we're just going to bend these in place. Just go ahead and kind of get that one a 90 degree right there. Yeah, I know I got parts going everywhere. It's all right. Like that. So you can see we just kind of took these pliers right here and gave them a nice little 90. I really should probably move these parts so they're not completely, like, I'm not doing very good instructions on this one. And then I'll grab both of them, and I kind of want them to run up through right about here to come up to this power supply. So, you know, about right about this screw here, I'm just going to go ahead and give them both a 90 up. And we're going to twist these around. God, I am struggling. We're going to come up through and we're going to cut these off. So basically I kind of want them there. I'll run the power just past the adjuster, and that's probably going to work for that. Is it good, Zach? Or
I can't see it.
So we think it's recording? We hope it's recording?
It should be.
It should be. Can we tell?
Let's say underneath. Probably not.
I see a red blinker.
Yeah, so it's wrong.
So we're good. And then we're going to cut the ground off, and we're going to do that one probably right about here. It's probably good. So that's those two. And then go ahead and strip these. About the same amount. About that much. Don't get in there, you. And let's grab this one. Do the same thing. Strip them. And then take our pliers, give them a little 90 degrees, grab our pliers, give it another 90 degrees, and grab our screwdriver, fork these things up, fork this one up, and let's go ahead and screw it in. Now we're going to grab the drill because I'm not doing it the old-fashioned way. I don't do it with screwdriver. These little Milwaukee's are nice. They have a little clicker on them, so you can actually adjust them, so they won't over tighten them. You can go like 8 or 10, or kind of whatever. And that clicks. Pretty wicked, huh? Don't worry about all this yet. We'll get that cleaned up here in a minute. Let's get back to the second set of wires. Again, let's strip that one back a little bit. Strip that one back. Yeah, don't put ferrules on. Do not put ferrules on your wires. This is a big argument amongst a bunch of people, okay? And I'm telling you not to do ferrules. If you feel like doing ferrules, well then hey, that's up to you. Some people are going to tell you to use ferrules. Of course, these you can't use ferrules because they're forked. When we get to doing the green connectors, I'm going to tell you not to do ferrules on those too. There's been issues with people smoking boards up and stuff like that because of ferrules. The connectors that we're using are not designed for ferrules, despite what people seem to think or say. And again, you're just crimping them ferrules to your wire. So basically you're making a mechanical connection to shove in between the screw to make a second mechanical connection, and all you're doing is creating heat. Just run there. It's all right.
David Pitts specifically says not to use.
Yeah, David Pitts tells you not to use ferrules
With his controllers.
with his controllers. So, you know,
And using the same connector.
I'm just saying. Again, you see how I use my needle noses here so I didn't mess up the board? And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna grab this red wire right here. And then we're gonna grab the black wire. Like that. And then we're gonna grab it onto both of these wires. Bend that up. Like that. Now, for right now, what we're gonna do is leave this like this. And there's a reason for that, which I'm gonna show you here in just a minute, because we're actually going to put together the box now. So we're gonna kind of stop with this piece, and we're gonna move this out of my way. Normally I have a whole bench to work at, but I'm limited to my space here. So I'm gonna have to do this the best I can. Slide this out of our way, leaving those wires. My little tester here is really just being a real pain today. Let's get the box out. Let's assemble the box real quick, and then I'm gonna show you why we're assembling the box real quick. So generally what I like to do is just, you know, dump all my parts out on the counter, because, you know, we like to make messes. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw these glands in, because they need to go in, so I might as well just do it. We checked on the CNC recently, make sure we're not drilling nothing. Now you will see there's one oddball gland, that's the big one. You see the one big one? That's the power. So that one goes in the bottom, obviously. Now sometimes I'll actually run the pigtails in next. I'm not going to in this video. I'll do them after. But like a lot of times when we're prepping boxes, they'll actually, they'll label all these for me, and they'll already have all the pigtails coming up through the box. They have them all prepped, and we'll have like 30 or 40 of these built out with all the pigtails up in them, prepped and ready to go. And then I'll just build all these lower assemblies and then just drop them in. And that works pretty well. Yeah, and we got a couple other videos coming, or if you watch this one, we got one I think coming out for a Kulp 8. And then I actually have another video that's actually going to be a K16. It's going to be in a CG box. So that's going to be a little bit more of an economy style. If you don't want the nicer bud box, that'll be an option for you as well. And as you see, look, I supplied an extra one of those because occasionally you break them. So again, just trying to make sure you guys have everything you need. I just use a 5/8 socket, and I put it on, and I can just run down through them, hold the inside, and just give them a snug like that. And then I need a, what is this bottom one? 19 millimeter. Interesting. To tighten up the bottom one. Okay, so next what we're going to need is the power cord. And you're going to see why that we're doing these kind of halfway here in a second. So shove the power cord up through the bottom one, like this. And pull it out, like that. Now, let's see how I have it all out like that. Let's bring our controller back over here. But now, let's move them out of the way. So the thing is, once I put this other power supply on, getting these screws are going to be a real pain in the rear end. So the idea is that I want to put the bottom power wires on and then stack the second power supply. So if you don't do it this way, you're going to really hate yourself. Again, what I do is I just loop them over the screw, is what I do. Again, you don't have to do it this way. Zach actually don't like doing it this way. He prefers cutting them and stripping them. Put one on each side of the screw. Again, there's no rule saying you have to do it this way. I'm going to try to send the wires this way. Again, if I put the kit together, it will be. So now, basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tuck these wires under the power wire like that. So the power wire will ride on top and slide down. And this is out of the way. And now we have the power wires hooked up. So now we can actually stack the second power supply on top. This thing's really going to take shape here in another minute. Okay. And then let's get our 1¼ inch spacers that I slung everywhere. Like this. Okay. And then let's get our 4 wing nuts. And wing nut this on here. Okay. Now that those are on there, let's take a second here. I know this is kind of jumping the gun, but since it's going to be in my video, I figured I might as well. I like to put, the ones we build, we put stickers on them. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the stickers on these so it's on there for the rest of the video. There. So now, let's see here, our power wire's over here. Let's swing this around. So what we're going to do now is we're going to route this one across, so you're kind of holding it here. And we're going to kind of bend it up a little bit. So I want to hit the power right in here. So now I'm just going to trim this off, I don't know, just above that. And then we're going to grab this one right here, the ground. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to kind of route it around and up and cut it off, I don't know. About there. That should work. Again, you should have a little extra wire. I always send a little extra. I mean, I got extra, like, I don't know, a few inches here. You can use it for something. And let's strip these. And strip this one. Again, we'll neaten everything up here in just a minute. Let's get everything connected up first. And I'm going to 90 these over. And 90 this one over to hit the board. Get my screwdriver out for that one. Get my screwdriver out for that one. Okay. Now you can kind of just lay them in here where they need to go. Like that. And let's put this one right here. Matches the one below it. Like that. Okay. So now you can kind of hold them right here. You can kind of give them a pull like that. And you can kind of bend them all in. sometimes the wire gets a little bit crazy. So this is generally when I'll try to neaten some of this up. And you got some of these zip ties that I sent. You only need a couple of them. I think I sent way more than what you actually need. Just maybe I'll throw a zip tie right here. Just gonna hold that together. So then all this looks nice and decent across the front here. Alright. Flip your zip tie. And then a lot of times what I'll do is I'll come right here, I kind of push that in, grab the power cable now, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Grab the power cable in this group and give it a little zip. So we're clean now. Now all I have left are these 3 wires right here, which are the power cables. So I'll just kind of loop them over like that, kind of give them like a little loop. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna trim these off, because I don't need that much length. Okay. Those strippers. Okay, so there's all that. We still have this wire, which can come up out of our way. This will be fine here for right now. And that would be the lower tray. So now what I normally do is I'll bring this up to here and I'll set this like this. Okay, and I'm going to pull the power wire through. Now what I like to do at this point is I actually like to plug it in. Okay, we know we're on 12 volt. Oh yeah, make sure the board's on 12 volt. They ship 12 volt, just make sure if you're running 12 volt it says 12 volt. But I like to boot the controller up. And I like to set the power supplies at this point, because it's a whole lot easier to set them when they're sitting right here in front of me. I do have this really cool bent screwdriver that actually lets me reach around and hit those, but it is easier if I just do it this way. So we're going to put that on there, and we're at 12.14, so we're going to go ahead and put that at 11.98, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. Test these, 12.15, 11.98. Generally pretty close to that is what I set them at. So now they're 11.98. We have verified that the board comes up. It says Kulp lights, no network. We have power. We have blinky blue lights on the board here. So we're pretty confident that our controller should work. So at this point, I'll go ahead and power it down. Okay. I'll pull this up over. I want to set this tray back down in here like this. And then just kind of pull the power cable and just work it down in. Just like that. And I kind of tuck those in. Okay. So now we're all tucked in. We got our here's our SD card. It's kind of off the side. And then our USB extension right here, which is probably just going to end up laying right in there. Okay. The board's down. It all looks nice and clean. We're going to grab our silver screws here that came with the kit. I have a longer extension. I don't know where it is. I think it's on your mother's drill. Or she stole my drill and didn't take my... There it is. I see my extension. So I have a longer extension that I can reach down in here with. I'm going to screw the bottom plate to the board. Okay. Now we can basically, we got a vent and we got Ethernet cables. So let's throw them in next. I'm gonna do the Ethernet cables first, and then basically, if you're buying this kit, you kind of know what you're doing. You know, you want to stop watching my video. You kind of can put it together. So obviously we do the 91s. You got a washer, you got a nut, and you got the cap. So I'll put that in, and then I'm going to put the rubber washer, and then I'm going to put this guy, and then I'm going to put the nut, and then I'm going to grab my 1/16 socket, and I'm just going to tighten that guy up right there. Now with the vent not in my way on this one, obviously a Falcon plugs in a little bit differently. I probably should plug this in before I set it in there, Zach. It would have been easier. So I use my needle noses. I know it goes in. I just get the right angle on it. Well, I guess it's going to make a liar out of me today. So just so you guys know, you're not the only one that fights with stupid stuff like this.
I'll make a note on the video.
Yeah, plug this in before. Easier. It does go in. See? Look, got it. They're going to put the vent in yet, though. So now I'm just going to kind of route this around. Plug that in. Be done with that one. I did know not to put it in before the vent. I'll put the vent in first. I did know that. And then go ahead and set your vent on. Like this. Again, I'm just going to basically leave this guy just laying in here. It ain't going to hurt nothing right there. So now we're going to grab these four, and we're going to run these four in right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to close the lid so I can put these together. Which I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, probably not. But I'm basically putting these in like this. They're in a really great angle for me to show you that, so. But I mean, it ain't like it's rocket science here, what we're building. Just, we're putting some glands in. Then all we have left is pigtails after this. And again, I mean, you're welcome to stay with me because we're going to build the whole controller out. But if labeling pigtails excites you and you want to watch me do 16 of them, then hey, the more the merrier.
There will be chapter selections, so if you want to skip forward.
If you want to grab me that nut I just threw on the floor, Zach, that'd be great. Yeah, Zach puts chapter selections in our videos, so that way if you don't want to watch all of it or you want to jump around. But this is a super easy controller to build. I mean, these are super simple. There's really nothing to these. When we do the Kulp 16 in a CG box, are even easier than this one. It's basically the same process, though. A little different, a couple different steps, but just still got same idea. Again, so basically I just put all these on with the caps. Then the caps can go on, and then you also will have the option for our new Ethernet glands, which will go on there, so they'll be protected when you're actually using them. Getting a new little add-on for you all. It'll be an option. Actually, we'll give it in our kits. It'll be part of our kits. But
on our normal controllers.
On our normal controllers, it would be an option because some people don't use them. I mean, I don't. I just put a little grease in it, send it. But each your own. Everyone, there's no rules. So So here are these 4. They are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. So obviously 4, if you look at the numbers on these, it ain't like David's where they're 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 17 through 20, 21 through 24, 25 through 28, and 29 through 32. So basically it's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how it ends up going. So we know that 1 is way over in the front. So it's going to go 1. 1's up here. And then we got 2 and 2. And then we're going to have 3 and 3. And then last but not least is 4 and 4, like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of give these a little bit of a direction over here. Kind of get them just to come down. I'm probably going to try to feed this through here. And maybe something like that. That ain't too awful shabby. I think I can live with that. I want to leave this so we can get to it, which is right here. Maybe I had a second one right here, just to kind of clean them up. Make this a nicer looking box, like that. Okay, so basically that's it for the box. It's assembled. And now I said you can hang out with me. We'll take 5 minutes here, and we'll throw some pigtails in this thing real fast if you want. And I think I'm still recording. The bleep blooper's still going beep, beep, beep. So I think we're good. So let's slide this out of the way for a second. Let's cut these up real fast. So there's a line that says cut, and just cut them on the cut line. Just like that. And let's grab our pigtails. Real quick. And we're going to throw the labels on and throw them in the box. So how I normally label is I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So basically all the odds on the top, all the evens on the bottoms. That's just how I like them. That's how they lay in the best. I even do that with my 32s, is I keep them that way. Now, some of these glands, oh look, I got an easy set. Now some of these wires vary in size. Okay, some of these PGs vary in size. I have some that are so tight that literally I have to pull the rubbers out and get rid of the rubbers. Okay, of course I just threw that nut right on the floor. Let me look back at that. If you get some that are tight, it's all right if you got to remove that rubber, because again, these are rubber, so it's going to make the same seal. So if you get some that are just tight, take the rubber out, slide this in, and then when you tighten them up, they'll tighten if they're that tight, because they're just, some of them are just way tight. Some fit, throw right in. It's just, it's funny, I can order from the same place, and I'll have some that will fight them in, and then some you just throw them in. It's just, it's the craziest thing. So again, that's a little trick. These happen to be fitting in pretty decent. That don't happen often. I'll say more times than not, it don't happen. So again, if you fight them a little bit, don't be afraid to take them off, pull the rubber out, and get rid of the rubber, and then slide them through. Again, that's an option. And then sometimes, I mean, they'll be fine. You'll get them right through. And then they'll just feed through. So it just varies. What'd you say?
Tell them how to put them in, like where one.
Yeah, I told them where they go in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that was almost 5. Now you can put them. You can, be consistent I just grab them and shove them in. I pretty much know which hole's which. I've done so many of these. Note to self, that red wire is jacked up. And it don't matter. I mean, pigtails, you can get them from 3 different people and they still vary. I don't understand why everything varies so bad. I'm short a pigtail.
Oh, I thought you included one.
I do include an extra one, I think, but I guess I didn't on this one because I was going to build this one. So I knew this kit was a builder. Okay, so all the pigtails are through. As you see too, there's an extra pigtail. I always include an extra pigtail in my kits because if you get one that's bad, you know, I don't want to send you 1 pigtail. It don't happen often, but it does happen. Always bad. So let's throw the green connectors on this thing real quick and let's finish her up. So green connectors, again, they don't normally come unscrewed. Right here, these are been unscrewed by my wife. So what I do is if the wires are tin nice, like these are really nice tin wires right here, I'm gonna leave that tinning. If they're short and stubby and look all nasty, I'm gonna cut them off and go. So basically with these is I'm going to so either they're going to be bare or I'm going to leave them tinned if they're a clean tin like I mean, these are just really nice looking tins. They're not all globbed on, they're clean. So we're going to go ahead and just stuff them through. It's black, yellow, red, like that. And I'll hold it in there. Grab my screw gun. Okay. Get back in the kick here.
And don't use ferrules.
And do not use ferrules. Please don't do ferrules. Just leave them as a tinned if they're clean. If they're not clean, then just cut it off and use bare wire. That's better than anything, honestly. But again, if you're getting them clean, like I mean, these are just beautifully tinned on the right length. There's nothing wrong with the tinning as long as you get them tight enough. And again, I use a screw gun, so I can promise you that mine are tight. Most of the time, you can't take them back apart. It usually destroys a green connector. Because that's what happens. Most people just don't get them tight, which makes heat, which causes issues. So,
tight.
Tight is good. And honestly, it wouldn't hurt to check your power wires. Check your power leads, you know, after you run them for a little bit, just, you know, maybe just double check them. They should be fine if you tighten off real well with pliers like I showed you. I mean, I haven't had one ever have a problem.
We have controllers for years.
But, you know, it does happen. It can happen. Okay, now we are finishing up the last one. Hopefully you enjoyed that music Zach picked out. To speed it up so you have to watch me put all these green connectors on. We are about done. Again, it's the last one of those. So now what we're going to do is, well, we got two things, okay, that I forgot to show you earlier. For one, we have this USB extension that's sitting here, okay. I did put Velcro on these, so they could kind of stick to that, but I noticed that these are a little shorter than some of them. So I'm just actually going to let this one just ride right down here. I'm not going to stick it to anything. I'm just going to let it sit here. As a matter of fact, I'm probably just take that double stick tape off like that. And just get rid of it completely and just let it sit here. Again, I don't see a reason for it. Some of them I put up here. Again, it's just so you can get to it. The other thing is the FM transmitter. Now, you're supposed to, there's a little hole right here to put a wire and solder a wire to it. Now, I'm not supplying that with the kit. And basically what I would do is I'd run the wire probably straight across and I'd just come right out the vent with it because there's holes in the vent and just let it run down the vent. That's probably what I would do with it, or maybe run it up around. But that's the FM transmitter. Maybe you'll have better luck than I have with them. It's about 98.3% of the time I've never been able to get them to work. So, but again, it's there, and you guys can, do as you want with that. So now I always start here left to right. I'll start with number one. Number one on his boards is at the top. So I'm just gonna go number one, and then I'm gonna go to number two. And then I'll go 3. They're really tight. It's the only thing I don't like about these boards is they're so tight. I understand compact, but it's too compact for me. And last but not least, number 16. Okay. Now I'm just going to start at the bottom, and I'm just going to pull these suckers through. Again, I'll straighten them out here in a second. Let's just get them pulled through, and then we'll make it look pretty. It's also a good check for you too, because obviously all the top row should be on the top. So you can kind of go down through and straighten them out, make sure all the top's on the top, and then go down through the bottom and do the same thing. Obviously, if the top's on the tops, the bottom's on the bottoms, but now we're going to straighten all these out. And then doing this on the video is a little harder than just build them. And then let's go down through. And tighten all these guys up. Okay. Now, the other thing too, is we did leave enough room because there are the 3.5 millimeter jacks. There's one here and one here. So if you technically wanted to run a different FM transmitter, there is enough room to plug in a regular 3.5 to a regular FM transmitter. So we did leave the board shuffled over enough for that. You also have your pins here, so you can run a ribbon cable off that. And we actually sell a plate. If you really want to get super crazy, we sell a plate that goes on here. You'd have to get longer bolts that goes on here, and basically you put a 4-port on this, and now you could have basically 8 outputs. So another option that we have for this controller. But that's pretty much it. We will test this. Now, you remember you got to configure the string ports on this controller to make it output. But it'll go through testing is what it normally does for us. And then once we're done testing, we will take the heat gun and we'll heat these up and shrink these up. So, and that's pretty much it. That's that controller. These kits will be available online here pretty soon, and along with a few other kits. And if you like what you're seeing, we'll keep building these videos with kits so you guys know how to assemble them. Just be sure to be hitting the like buttons, hitting the subscribe buttons, and share. That would be great. So thank you guys very much.